So I get that the title of this video might be a little controversial, but that's by design. I wanted you to join me for this conversation on why I believe the SG is the superior Gibson model. And when I think Gibson, probably like you, my mind goes to this guitar, the SG, the Les Paul, or the ES335. Now there are other Gibson models that are great, but I think the majority of players would think SG, Les Paul 335 when you think about Gibson electrics. So why do I feel like the SG is the superior of the three? Well, I want to get into it. And first of all, I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel. I'd love for you to do that. And please like the video if you like it. And I'd love for you to comment. I really want to have some conversation around this. I love the fact that the guitar community is opinionated. And we all have our thoughts and ideas. And if we can be respectful and share those, I think we can learn a lot from each other. So let's dive into the 5 reasons I think the SG is the best Gibson model to own. What I'm using as my benchmark for this is this guitar right here. This is my Gibson Custom Shop Murphy Lab ultralight aged 61 SG. So this will be the guitar that I'm basing my opinions around. All right, so let's dive into the 5 reasons. First of all, tone. I find that a lot of people romanticize this idea of the Telly on steroids sound, and it's spoken about a lot with old Les Pauls, and it's an amazing tone, that really chimey, open, uncompressed humbucker tone, not dark, nice and like a really sweet top end, and I love that sound. But I will say that I find that I can achieve that tone way more easily with an SG as a general rule than with a Les Paul, and certainly more than with a 335. I just really feel like this guitar has so many options for sounds, and it just always sounds to me a little sweeter in the top end. It's never dark or muddy, and I really love that about the SG. And again, I'm kind of coming at this from the perspective of a gigging musician. I play live a lot. In addition to doing videos and the other things I do. So when I'm out there, it's nice to have a guitar that's really versatile and does a lot of sounds well. Tonally, I believe the SG will do more than the Les Paul and more than the 335. Okay, second is playability. And I don't think, we can argue all the other points, but I don't really think we can argue the point that in terms of playability, the SG wins hands down. I mean, just in terms of accessibility of frets. I mean, you can get to the 22nd fret with super simple. I mean, you're right there. You can get past it. I mean, this guitar is just really, really playable and easy to get around on the neck. 335s have pretty decent access to the upper frets, but a Les Paul to get to 22, you're fighting it a bit. I just always find that an SG is just easy to get around on, and that's always a great thing. All right, third thing is weight. And this can be the Achilles heel to the SG, because I know everybody watching this video is thinking about neck dive. And certainly the SG does fall victim to neck dive often. But this guitar is 7.3 pounds, 7 pounds 3 ounces actually, which wouldn't be 0.3. 7 pounds 3 ounces. This guitar is really light. You're not going to find a Les Paul that weighs 7 pounds 3 ounces unless it's heavily chambered. And likely not a 335 either, though you might have a better chance of that. So from the perspective of a guitar player who's out playing live, having a light, comfortable guitar to play is a huge win. And the neck dive is not a good thing, that's for sure. But if you find one like mine that doesn't have the neck dive, but it's also really light, it makes for a very, very nice playing situation. All right, the number 4 reason that I believe the SG is the most superior is comfort. Certainly the weight plays into that, which we just talked about, but comfort in terms of the bevels on the body. The body of an SG is very thin in comparison to a 335 or a Les Paul. It just fits really comfortably against your body, and I really find that it's just easy to get around on ergonomically. You know, it's easy to get to all the switches. Everything is very... I mean, with a Les Paul, having the switch up here it can be cool, but I just find everything is easy to get to. The body size is perfect, and it's just a very comfortable guitar to play. And lastly might be the most subjective point of all five, and that is cool factor. I just feel like the SG looks cooler than a Les Paul and a 335. It's just a rock and roll looking guitar. It's great. And I think, it's just a cool guitar overall. So there you go. I feel like if you can only have one gift, if you can have a great Les Paul, a great 335, and a great SG, more power to you. That's amazing. But if you can only have one Gibson electric and you want the greatest amount of versatility from that guitar and you want all the features, you want the best of everything that Gibson has to offer, the SG is hands down the winner. If you don't agree with me, awesome. Comment below. Let me know why I'm wrong. Or if you do agree, share your stories about your SG. I'd love to hear about them. I'd love to hear what you love about the SG. And let's just have some conversation about it. So comment below.